Hey everyone, Strangers123 here. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but here I am playing the Emden, so I guess KMS Emden here today with the Emden replay. It's actually a rather bad Emden game overall, but I figured I'd post it just for the sake of posting something. It's not really me trying to seal club, and in all fairness, I'm rather failing at it, but well, someone, I guess, requested this enough. So, eventually, here we go, playing the Emden. This is actually my Z52 AA captain, because AFT and BFT, you definitely don't need Superintendent, because your damage control parties are, well, unlimited in usage, so getting the additional range means you can be missing more shells and padding your accuracy stats totally, da bliat comrade. So here we go. What's the Emden about? Well, while I'm here, I might as well talk about it. It's a rather rapid-firing Tier 2 little 10.5 centimeter German cruiser with a single broadside salvo of 5 shells with like 3 seconds reload, so if something does actually decide to get close to you, especially if they decide to broadside you, you can give them hell with those armor-piercing shells, but otherwise, spamming HE is mostly just a waste of your time because the 10.5s don't tend to do much. However, it's still a German cruiser, so it does get the boosted AP damage, which means its AP damage comes in at around about... I don't actually think I can show you here, but I'd say it's like around 14 centimeter caliber cannon, so around 2.83k damage-ish maybe an AP shell, but the HE shells probably don't do much more than like 1.2, so it really is a bit of a waste to be shooting HE at stuff. But long range, that's probably what you want to do. But if your cruiser does decide to get rather close and somewhat poorly angles against you, you can give them in with those AP broadsides for quite a lot of damage. But I don't really think we're going to get to showcase that throughout this battle, simply because, well, most of the stuff seems to be rather far away, and trying to get close on this map could be rather detrimental for your overall long-term survivability. Anyways, the entire team seems to be rather blobbing towards the western side. It's a tier 3 game at the end of the day, so you don't really expect any form of coordinated, skillful gameplay. Speaking of which, it's a bloody lot of divisions here. I mean, we've got A, B, and C, and I think, yep, they've got 3 as well. They've got even the Hashidata plus Shurian division, the Baguettian, I guess you can call it. I don't really care about the lower tier Baguette cruisers and names, but long story made short, do not ever fail division with the tier 1 ships, because tier 1 ships cannot see anything above tier 1, and tier 2s can actually just outright one-salvo you, because tier 1s have nerfed health and damage output, so you do have to be aware of fail division tier 1 ships. Regardless, I've pretty much reached my endgame position. My range covers a decent chunk of the map. It's not really a big map. At the end of the day, tier 3 maps are rather small. This Wakatake decides to show up right behind me, which is actually a little bit annoying, but I'm not going to be the one that is spotting him overall until he actually pokes around the corner, in which case I can actually start missing him because, well, these guns aren't the world's best. And look at the amount of lead I have to apply to someone at 5 kilometers range. That's quite a lot. And you can see these HE shells really aren't doing too much damage, but they're chipping away at them. They're chipping away, but and well, actually that's an interesting one. You can see our Rakatake has actually opened fire on this guy. Like, hello, a Japanese destroyer with guns? Lost is lost. Anyways, it seems like I'm facing a pretty solid cruiser and destroyer grouping coming along here. Shell for like 300 or something damage is definitely not too bad with an HE shell like this, but he's beyond my 2 kilometer effective firing range, so I'm not really gonna have that great of a time. I mean, these shells make the bloody US destroyer guns look good. Like, seriously, these things make US destroyer guns look good. I don't even need to apply that much lead with US destroyer guns. I mean, okay, at the same kind of effective, well, not effective, but equal, like equivalent firing range, then yes, I would kind of need to apply pretty much the same lead. And you can see the amount that I am aiming ahead over St. Louis, which is by no means the fastest ship in the game. But still merrily blinking away at the guy. I could have swapped to armor piercing and perhaps done a little bit more, but hey, I'm really just wasting my ammo here, so I mean, you've got infinite, so go ham. nothing really to stop you other than your perceived accuracy stats, which really don't matter at all. Let's face it. But it seems I've sectioned out the St. Louis because I'm still getting some decent damage out of him now. But yeah, Oleg shows up. I don't really have a good shot at him, but well, at least I didn't think so. But due to the hilarious arcs on this thing, I do actually manage to lob over the island, but don't actually think the shells are going to go anywhere near where I actually want them. G101 shows up, and he wants to chase me. I am perfectly fine with him trying to chase me because I can actually dish out some decent DPM to the guy, so he's trying to launch his front torpedoes there, it's pretty obvious, and now he's trying to launch his broadside torpedoes and then build some distance to set a fire on him, and I think the smoke screen was covering, but that thing is now expiring, so meh. He's gotten himself invis, I think he's placed his own smoke, so now I'm just kind of being pressured forward, I guess you can say. But it's not really that major of an issue as long as the enemy battleships don't suddenly find an interest in me, so I'm really just hoping that the enemy battleship doesn't find an interest in me. Gatori seems to have actually gotten herself into a rather intriguing position, but I think the BAKA is stuck on the island might be in a worse one, especially considering I think she's just dumped torpedoes into the void. But yep, these are the G101 single torps, so meh. And here comes some of the G101s, well, more the other second single torp I think, which is now expiring. I mean, this thing's not that slow, 24 knots-ish, and I can just ignore that torpedo because it's not going to do anything to me. Kind of just pushing towards this South Carolina. Almost read that as North Carolina. Getting quite some AT deflections there, or breakups, but did actually get a fire, and it seems to be lasting, so I can't really complain about that. And just look at these little Tomahawk missiles going out. Auto-loaded Tomahawk missile launchers. What do they call them again? Those vertical deck launcher thingy-majiggy thingies. That's the thingy-majiggy thingies. That's the scientific term, guys. Scientific accurate term. Anyways, North Carolina, South Carolina. I did it. I knew I was gonna do it. He actually turns in towards the island a little bit. I failed to realize that. I could have easily realized that by applying look at map tactic. So, well, I mean, I could actually just toss my mortar shells over the island anyways, and it wouldn't really matter. But I'm going to start plinking away the Bellerophon. 10.5 centimeters against a Tier 3 battleship should be sufficient to pen that deck, right? Anyways, South Cal shows up again, so I'm going to continue plinking away at that. Do actually get some damage on the superstructure of the Bellerophon. I should at this point have just loaded up the armor piercing and hammered the S-Cal with that, because, well, I mean, it's still a German cruiser, so you still get the high damage German AP. Interestingly enough, even at Tier 2, but, hey. Blink, 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 blink. So Louis decides to shoot some AP my way. He's got 12k health, I've got 15, so he's actually in a kind of a better state than me, and he's shooting AP at me, which could be a little bit dangerous, actually, because this thing does kind of actually have a citadel, so as far as I know, and he's going to smack into the island, so it should be easy hits for me, he says, having basically missed every single previous salvo. And again, another target I could potentially have fired armor piercing at. Do get a fire on him, but he probably is just going to damage control party that. Or not, seems to actually get double fire on him, and if that's not bad enough, I get a triple fire on him, so he's probably going to have a really, really bad day, and down she goes. That was some pretty ridiculous endgame RNG there. I mean, it was completely unnecessary, because the hail of shells was probably going to knock him out anyways, because he didn't have damage control party. So, yeah, sehr gut. And now I'm just slowly trying to catch up to the other end of the battle. I should have just YOLO down the middle of the map, I guess. And now I'm just wasting my ammunition trying to shoot a G101 across half the map. I mean, it's not really half, but, like, I'm here, he's there, so, like, it might as well be half the map, because this isn't the only area of the map. Like, this isn't the only area of the map I traveled, so that's half the map. Okay, guys? Got it? So, yeah, I mean, shooting my, I don't know, what should I call them? Mortars? Potato cannons? Like, look, it's a G101, it's not really that fast, and I have to zoom out and aim outside of my screen to actually get shells anywhere near on target. And they are getting near target, but a lot of these torpedo boats are really, really small at this tier, so even if you have reasonably accurate guns, you're still not really gonna hit them. In fact, sometimes you want less accurate guns just because they, well, disperse more, so you have more of an RNG chance to actually get shells on target. But yeah, Goldberg shows up, gonna send some AP shells his way, which was quite a bit of waste, so back to the HE shells. I mean, it's a tier 2 cruiser, so... Is it? It is a tier 3. Ah well, whatever. Going to spam away at it with some HE shells. At this kind of range, you'd kind of expect even a horrible shot like me to land some hits, right? Otherwise I'll just chase the... Though, like, I really should just slow down here to continue to shoot at the Goldberg, because I really don't have much better to do, and I mean, the old leg is farther away, so that's just going to be a bigger waste of my ammunition. And it seems that our Tendidu's also missed all of her torpedoes, so more time to shoot, right? Don't really care if I'm spotted by the old leg, because he's probably got the other Tendidu that he really needs to be considering a more pressing concern than me trying to farm a bit of extra endgame damage off this Goldberg. Get a fire, but he damage control parties, and I think by now his superstructure is sectioned out, because you can see 198 damage, and somebody else sets a fire while St. Louis gets a shell on target. We do actually lose someone, but it doesn't really matter. And hey, the game's even decided to crash. I guess that's the Wargaming trying to tell me something about playing a tier 2 ship like this. Not really a great game. I don't know why I'm really showing it to you, but I guess I'm showing it to you because I really have nothing really better to be showing you. It's not like I'm quitting World of Warships or anything, but pretty much the only thing I'm nowadays playing is clan battles, and that's really it. And you can see that in how little I've actually been streaming recently. In fact, I think I've got more cooking live streams than normal World of Warships live streams, but yeah. We'll see what happens about that, but right now actually the only kind of stream I've actually promised a schedule on is actually every Saturday a cooking live stream, so might as well just plug that now today, later on. I mean, if you're watching this as on the day I've uploaded it, later today at 1400, I'm going to be doing a cooking live stream, and around about 2 o'clock Central European time in the afternoon every Saturday from here, at least until the new year, I'm going to try to be doing a cooking live stream for you fine folks as well. But yeah, maybe I'll do a World of Warship stream, but me saying I'm going to do one really just means I'm not going to, so hey. Strangers and promises, right? They don't seem to go too well without broken somewhere in the same sentence. Anyways, I hope you guys, I don't know, are shouting at your monitor and saying, what the hell are you doing with your life playing a tier 2 cruiser like this one, strangers? And if you like the video, make sure you give it a dislike in the like thingy-majiggy. Tell us in the comments how big of an idiot you are, strangers, and learn to aim, and I guess I'll catch you guys in the next one.